This is a very interesting signature series because I've worked on large projects around the world, museums, city plans. This is the first small, intimate house for an individual, for a family, that really reaches into the depths of a new experience of living and also a new experience of architecture and its space. The building is really unprecedented. This house has an array of spaces. It has many different atmospheres. It's not just a few rooms here and there, but a really harmonic hall where there are spectacular, grandiose spaces. There are rooms where the walls are not orthogonal to the ground, but open up towards the sky. There are many ranges of space, from very intimate to really grand. And the house creates also internal and external spaces. Some smaller courtyards, which are very intimate. Some large frontal spaces, which can really show the house in its full form. But the house is really a living being, and I think it soars in its spirit of spatial interaction with those who are in it. Architecture is a means of communicating the importance of human beings, of scale, of proportions. In my projects at the Jewish Museum in Berlin or at Ground Zero in New York, those are the very issues that inform the architecture. It's not just about the size of a project or about some theoretical idea, but it's about the emotional accompaniment. It's about the experience of architecture. It's about the harmonious relationships. And it's about the imagination and creativity for those who are lucky enough to live in those environments to benefit from entering, looking, being, sleeping, eating in a house. Well, I didn't come to architecture directly. I was a musician for a long period of my life. Then I became an architect. My first building was the Jewish Museum in Berlin. I'm now working on many public buildings, museums, on shopping centers, on high-rise buildings, on skyscrapers. But what is important in architecture is that it relates to people. It's not just about theoretical ideas. It's about how to engage the full sensory mechanism of a human being, their heart and soul, in an architecture which really is memorable, which carries on effectively everyday life. It is certainly true that architecture is one of the great arts that combines all the liberal arts. It's not just technology and scientific thought, which is of course important, but it is in its essential making a poetic pursuit. It's about music, it's about astronomy, about the stars, it's about nature, it's about trees and animals, it's about the lyrical in life. Architecture is really one of the great arts that combines all knowledge, all possible truth, and all dreams, and brings them to a concrete reality through space, through the sky, through the earth, through orientation, the horizon. It's a beautiful art. It's really the art that is called the mother of all the arts. This is a 21st century house. It is no longer just a rectilinear object plunked on the landscape. It is an articulated sculptural space which links the inside and the outside. It is a house that has its own unique topography. It doesn't contain human beings just within a simple horizon, but raises spaces, brings light from unexpected places, illuminates the house in a 360-degree panorama so that it's never just the front, back, and the sides of the house, but it is really house lived in the round, house lived fullier and in the full mind, a house that inspires from day to day. The house is clad in zinc. It's one of my favorite materials. I used it in the Jewish Museum in Berlin. I was inspired, of course, by Schinkel, one of the great architects of Berlin in the 19th century, who used a lot of zinc. It's a material that is very organic, that gets a patina, that reacts to the sky in a way that is truly sustainable. A material that really grows and ages in a very beautiful way, with subtlety, with coloration, with liveliness. It's never just a flat, dull, metallic finish, but something that really breathes with the life of the building. The house is an organic design which develops from a seed of a smaller unit to where it's a medium unit and then grows into a large and impressive space. One of the main materials of this house is light. to take the light of nature and to bring it in specific ways in the 24-hour period into the house, and also to embody it on the outside of the house. So the shadows and light of the house really create a form that is very unique, that really celebrates those who spend time in the house, those who are outside looking at the house. And of course, the light is really the atmosphere of fun, of celebration, of dignity, and of the imagination which the house possesses. The house works very closely with landscape, so it contrasts itself with green, with trees, with water. It is a sculptural, strong form, a house that has new vectors of space that direct the eye and the body towards new experiences of the landscape. So it is a house that is really a full experience of space. It is not just a box. It raises the roof. The roof is not just a roof, it's also another elevation, because you can see it from different points of the house. So the house is really an object which doesn't have a back and a front. It's not just a front facade and something in the back, but it is fully accessible to the residents and fully accessible to those who look at the house as something that is beautiful, something that is proportioned, that is harmonious, and that interacts very closely with those who live and the environment outside. To create a truly sustainable house, one needs to really take care to use the best possible materials, state-of-the-art technologies. This house has very fine detailing. It's very elegant. Every detail, the framing of the windows, the floors, how the walls meet the different corners, is really a work of art. It is meant to be looked at. It's not just that it's there. I do love the array of materials, which are not only abstract, but really you can feel them, you can touch them. The hard and the soft, the luminosity of the glass, the fineness of the metal, all the different details that create really a palette, a very rich palette for this project. The interior is really, in many ways, unprecedented. It's very intimate, but also dramatic living spaces. And spaces that are fluid, that combine the activities of the occupants in original ways, so that life becomes really a choreographed experience rather than separated activities. The house is centered on a core and then pinwheels in different directions, opening up the grand living room spaces. It has an array of bedrooms and suites of baths, an incredible kitchen in a sculptural form. It's really a house of rich experiences, which offer the owner a myriad of experiences never to be exhausted in this house. This is a cutting-edge house. A house that has the highest sustainability components in the world. From its insulation, from its geothermal power, from solar energy. It is really the highest level in the world. But sustainability goes beyond just the technical aspects. A house which is memorable, a house which is beautifully built with fine materials, a house which will remain for hundreds of years. That's what makes this house sustainable.